Hello students, welcome to the Knowledge Formation channel. I, Sheikh Muhammad Sabauddin, a teacher as well as a student of physics. Today I am going to take online class on my subject, and today's topic is dimension. So which is of class 11 level physics, and it is the most important chapter, one of the most important for competitive exams. So let's start. Now before starting the definition of dimension, let us first discuss the dimension of basic quantities and find the dimension of some physical quantities. So let us come to the board. The dimension of mass is given by m within third bracket. Remember, you have to give third bracket, not first or second bracket. Similarly, we can see it in the picture that the dimension of length is given by L, time by T, temperature by K. K is for Kelvin, and current ampere. So let us find the dimension of area. So we can write that area is equal to length into breadth. So for L we can write the basic quantity is length, and for breadth also the basic quantity is length. So for area the dimension will be L square. For volume the formula is length into breadth into height. So the dimension will be L into L into L, it will be L cube. So let us now come to the definition of dimension. Dimension of a physical quantity are the powers to which the fundamental units be raised in order to represent that quantity. So dimension of a physical quantity, let us consider here area. In the board we see that for area the dimension is L square, square of the length. So physical quantity means here it is area, and powers to which fundamental units. So fundamental unit is here mass, length, time, these are fundamental units. So here fundamental unit L is raised to the power in order to represent the dimension of the physical quantity area. So from this example we can see that the dimension definition is clear. Now let us find some more dimensions. The formula for velocity is equal to displacement by time. What is displacement? It is nothing but length. So the dimension of displacement is L for length, and time T. So what will be the dimension? It will be L, T will go up, it will become T to the power minus 1. Now what will the dimension of acceleration? Acceleration formula is velocity by time. Now the dimension of velocity is L T to the power minus 1, and for time it will be T. So it will go up and the dimension will become L T to the power minus 2. So this is the dimension for acceleration. Now let us calculate the dimension for force. What is the formula for force? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. The dimension of mass is m, and for acceleration it is Lt minus 2. So the dimension will become m to the power 1, L to the power 1, T to the power minus 2, m L T to the power minus 2. Now let us find out the dimension of point number 11, angle. It is one of the important part. So what is the formula for angle? It is length of the arc by radius. If it is a circle and if it is the angle, then this is the length of the arc S, and this is the radius. So it is also length and it is also length. So length by length means L to the power 1 minus 1, it will become L to the power 0. So the dimension is dimensionless, actually it has no dimension, dimensionless, no dimension. But angle has unit. What is the unit of angle? SI unit? It has SI unit is radian. So we can see that angle has no dimension, but it has unit. Let us come to the point number 12, strain. It is something different. The formula for strain is change in length by original length. Actually this term you will read in the chapter elasticity. So change in length means it is length, and original length means it is also length. Length by length it is L0, means it is dimensionless, no dimension, and it is also unitless. So this is the difference between angle and strain. In angle it is dimensionless and the unit was radian, but in strain it is dimensionless and unitless, no dimension, no unit. So this is to note. Now the rest of the problems is left for you. You can do it and ask the question if you have problem in the comment section. Now let us discuss the uses of dimension analysis. Where the dimension problem is used, there are three uses: to convert the values of physical quantity from one system to another, to check the correctness of a given relation, to derive a relation between various physical quantities. We will discuss these 3 points one by one. Before that, we can see here principle of homogeneity. It states that the dimensional formula of every term on the two sides of a correct relation must be same. So what is the principle? If a relation is correct, then the dimension of every term on both sides of that relation must be same. So this will discuss in point number 2 while checking the correctness of given relation. So let us first discuss point number 1, to convert the values of a physical quantity from one system to another. So if the question is given to you, convert a force of 1 Newton into dyne. So in class 9 and 10 you know that 1 Newton is equal to actually 10 to the power 5 dyne. This we can find out with the help of dimension also. How to find? In this picture you can see that in the middle we have written force, because Newton and dyne are the units of force. And let us proceed it in the blackboard first. So you can see in the board that the physical quantity force is written in the board in the middle, and system 1 will be actually MKS, because the question is to convert 1 Newton into dyne. So from MKS system to CGS system. So we will write MKS here, system 1, and we will convert it in CGS system. Now what is the dimension of force? It is M L T to the power minus 2. If the power of M is considered to be A, then it is nothing here, means here it is 1. If the power of L is B, then it will be 1, and the power of T is C, then C will be equal to minus 2. Now in system 1, let us consider M1 to be 1 kg, L1 to be 1 meter, T1 1 second, and N1 is given to convert 1 Newton into how many dyne. So N2 will be question mark. We have to find N2, and let us consider M2 in CGS. Instead of kg we can write 1 gram. For L2 1 centimeter, for T2 it will be 1 second. Now since the quantity force is same in system 1 and system 2 are same, so the dimension will also be same. It will be N1 M1 to the power A L1 to the power B T1 to the power C, which will be equal to N2 M2 to the power A L2 to the power B T2 to the power C. So we have to find N2 here. So we will take N2 in the left hand side, therefore it will be N1 M1 by M2, both power is A, L1 by L2 power B T1 by T2 power C. Now we will put all the values here. N1 value is 1, M1 is 1 kg, M2 is 1 gram. Let us convert it in 1 unit. So we can write here 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram by M2 1 gram to the power A means 1. What is L1? L1 is 1 meter means 100 centimeter by, here it is 1 centimeter, L2 to the power B is also 1. And what is T1? T1 is 1 second, T2 is 1 second. So 1 second by 1 second, C is minus 2. So it will be cancelled. So we can see here gram cancels, cm cancels. Here it is 30 and 20. Power is also 1. So total we have 5 zeros. So N1 equal to 1, N2 will be equal to 10 to the power 5. And we know that 1 Newton will be equal to this 10 to the power 5 in CGS system. The unit is time. So this is the answer, and this is the method to do this problem. These two problems are given for you. Solve question number 1 and 2. Next, come to the point number 2 to check the correctness of a given relation. Very simple. It is also done with the help of dimension. Any relation is correct or not, we will check it. So let us come to the board. Let us check this equation S equal to ut plus half at square is correct or not with the help of dimension. We know the dimension of S, actually it is displacement, so it is length L. It is on the left hand side, LHS. Now in the right hand side there are two terms, first term, second term. So RHS first term is UT. What is U? U is actually velocity. The dimension of velocity is Lt to the power minus 1, and this T is time. So T to the power minus 1 and plus 1, it cancels. Only L is left behind. So this is first term. Now second term half a t square. Now we know that any number is dimensionless, it has no dimension, and this is a is acceleration, L t to the power minus 2, this already we have calculated, and t is time, it is t square. So minus 2 plus 2 cancels and it will come, only length will remain behind. So we can see that LHS, the dimension is length, RHS first term dimension is length, second term dimension is length. So the dimension of left hand side and right hand side, every terms are same, so this equation is correct. If instead of t square, say it is written here t, then if it is t, then it will be also t, then there will be one more term, t to the power minus 1. So we can see that it is L here, but the second term has dimension Lt minus 1. So this equation will be then correct, incorrect, it will be wrong. So the correct equation is what? It is t square. So in this way we solve this problem. Question number 3 is given for you, 3, 1, 2 and number 3. You have to check the correctness of the relation in the similar manner in this way. And what was principle of homogeneity? Now let us come. So principle of homogeneity says that, it states that dimensional formula of every term on the two sides, means left hand side, right hand side, of a correct relation must be same. So dimension of both the sides and every term will be same. If it is not same, then the relation is incorrect, it is not correct. So this is principle of dimension homogeneity. Now let us discuss the third uses of dimension analysis. We have to derive a relation between various physical quantities. So it is derivation. So derivation means we have to derive a formula, last formula, this with the help of dimension. Now the centripetal force F, the question is given here, depends on mass m, velocity v, radius r of the circular path. Derive its expression with the help of dimension analysis. This is the question. Now we know that the force is dependent on m, v and r, but we don't know on what power it is dependent. So let us consider the power to be a, b and c, where a, b, c are numbers and dimensionless constant. So let us come to the board. So it is given that force is dependent on mass, velocity and radius. So we will assume the power of m to be a and power of b is v, power of radius is c. Now we will remove this proportionality sign, then a constant will come. Let the constant be k. This k is called dimensionless constant. It is dimensionless, no dimension is there, and a, b, c are also dimensionless, they are numbers. Now let us find how to come to the formula. We will write the dimension of both sides. So dimension of f is m l t to the power minus 2, and k is dimensionless quantity, no dimension, and m is for mass, so m to the power a. B is for velocity, velocity means l t to the power minus 1 to the power b, and radius means it is length, l to the power c. So now we will compare both sides, the power of m, with l with l and t with t. Now here the power of m is 1 and here the power of m is a. So we get the value of a equal to 1. What is the power of L here? Power of L is also 1, and the power of L is here b, L to the power b, L to the power c. So it is b plus c. So this is equation number 2. This was equation 1, and the power of t is here minus 2. And the power of t here is minus 1 into b, means minus b. Minus minus cancels, so b is equal to 2. This is equation 3. So for m, l, t, a, b, c, through 3 unknowns and 3 equations. From these 3 equations we get the value of a equal to 1, b equal to 2, put the value of b equal to 2 here. So equation 2 implies 1 equal to 2 plus c, or c equal to minus 1. So this is the value of c. Now putting the value of a, b, c, putting the values of a, b, c in this equation, we get f is equal to k, m to the power a, m to the power 1, v to the power b, b to the power 2, and c is minus 1, r to the power minus 1. So the equation becomes k mv square r to the power minus 1 means it will come down. So F is equal to k mv square by r. This is the answer. This is the formula relation we have derived. Here the value of k is unknown. It will remain as it is. So this is the method we will do these problems. So you can see this in this video and try to solve question number 4 in the similar manner. Now let us discuss the limitations of dimension analysis. What are the limitations? Number 1, it does not give the information of constant of proportionality in the equation. So we have already seen that we have calculated the value of force m v square by r, and k is here proportionality, constant of proportionality. So the value of k is unknown. So this is the limitation of dimension analysis. Now point number 2, it cannot be used to derive composite relations like v equal to u plus at. So v equal to u plus at, s equal to ut plus half at square, these are called composite relations, means there are two terms on the right hand side. So it cannot be used to derive all this. It can derive only single relations like this. On the left hand side only one term, right hand side only one term. It can derive only this. It can't derive composite relations. Two terms means more than one term, equations can't be derived with the help of dimension. Now let us see point number 3. It can be used to derive relations involving, cannot be used to derive relations involving trigonometric terms. We know the actual formula of work done is Fs cos theta. So any formula having trigonometric term, cos component or exponential term, you will see this formula in nuclear physics, lambda t in nucleus. So here it is exponential term. This can't be derived. Trigonometric, exponential, any formula with log, logarithmic term can't be derived with the help of dimension. So these are the failures of limitations of dimension analysis. It is limitation, सीमाबद्धता. Now let me solve two problems so that your concept will be more clear. Here question number 5 is given. Assuming velocity v, time t and force F as fundamental quantities, find the dimension of density. So we have to assume v, t and F as fundamental quantities. Actually they are not fundamental, but in the question it is said we have to assume these are fundamentals and find the dimension of density. So let us come to the board. Now in the board we can see that velocity, dimension of velocity, we know that it is L t to the power minus 1. The dimension of time is t and the dimension of force is m L t to the power minus 2. Now density, the formula is density is actually mass by volume. Mass means m and volume means L cube. So we have to find the dimension of density in terms of V, T, F. These are the fundamental quantities in this problem. Now m is present in force only, so we can write this m as m L T minus 2 and bottom L cube is there. So here we have written LT2 minus 2 extra term. So up in the denominator also we will write LT to the power minus 2. If we cut this and this, then again we will go back to the previous term. Now what is mL to the power minus 2? It is actually the dimension of force, and here it is we can see it is velocity dimension is lt minus 1. So here lt minus 2, if we take 1 l here, then it will become l square t minus 2. So in place of l square t minus 2 we can write here v square. So it is f by l square v square. Now we got the dimension of density in terms of f, in terms of v, and here it is L. So we have to remove L, we have to bring T here. How to remove this? From equation 1 we can see that if we take this equation 1, from this equation the value of V is equal to L T minus 1. Therefore the value of L will be equal to V, T minus 1 will come down, so it will become V into T. So V L equal to V into T. Now we will put this value of L in this equation. So the dimension of density becomes F by V square, this V square, and L square means V square into T square, V square T square. So it will be F V square V to the power 4, on the top it will be minus 4 and it will be T to the power minus 2. So this is the answer. Now let us solve question number 6 here. It is given the velocity of a particle in time t is v equal to at plus b by t plus c. The dimension of a, b, c are. It is MCQ type question. So we have to find out the dimension of a, b, c. So let us come to the board. We know the dimension of velocity is lt minus 1. So dimension of this quantity will be similar to dimension of this quantity and will be similar to dimension of this quantity. So this quantity will also have that same dimension. So the dimension of at will be equal to lt minus 1. So the dimension of a will be equal to lt minus 1 by this t will come down, it is time. So it will become lt minus 2. So this is the dimension of a. Now we can see that in this case this is t and this is c constant. Now we can add only time with a time. Time is can be added with a time with no other quantities. So t plus c has the dimension of time. Time can only be added to time, velocity can only be added to velocity, force can only be added to force. So t plus c equal to t. So this is t, this is t. So therefore the dimension of c is also t. So this we have find out the dimension of c, the dimension of a, and now we will find out dimension of b. Now this is this term is velocity lt minus 1, at is also lt minus 1. So this whole term b by t plus c, this is also lt minus 1. So what will be the value dimension of b? B will be lt minus 1 and this quantity has the dimension of time. So we will write here t. So t minus 1 plus 1 cancels. The dimension of b will become L. So a, b, c. Seeing the dimension, we can see that option B in our question is correct. Question number 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This will be all homework for you. Try to do these sums and your concept will be more clear. These are all the sums of HS, West Bengal Joint, JEE Main, NEET, etc. So let me give the hint for question number 7 and 8, because the coefficient of viscosity and Young's modulus of elasticity, these are the chapters which will come after some months. Okay, these are the chapters later in you will see. So let me discuss the formula just for these two sums. So what is coefficient of viscosity? You will see in viscosity a formula is given by Newton. Force is equal to eta A dV dx. This eta is called actually coefficient of viscosity. So you will take eta on the left hand side and then write the rest of the sum. So eta will be equal to F by A, it will be dV by dx. This will also come down. And what is F? It has the dimension of force. This is area, L square. This is velocity and this is displacement, length. So putting this, you can find out the dimension of eta. Now I am giving the hint for question number 8. What is Young modulus? It will come in chapter elasticity. It is actually stress by strain. What is stress? Stress is nothing but force by area, and strain is nothing but change in length by original length. It is length by length and it is force by area. So you have to now calculate. So subscribe for the next video. I will probably come with the next chapter, scalar and vectors. And if you have any queries, questions, you can ask that in the comment section. So thank you.